It doesn't. But something, rules of interpretation say you read a law as a whole. You read it together with others. So there are provisions made in other places, and there's reference, for instance, to the speaker. Okay, when you read it as a whole, I will disagree with Joe Wise when he says that he is not the speaker, because it's a position. So if you read the Constitution as a whole, and it says in certain places that when you sit as speaker, this is the situation, it runs through. It runs through. So again, if we had the time, I would be able to advance a sound argument for the proposition that these things have to be read together, and to that extent, therefore, this is what should apply. But clearly, there is an argument on the other side. I think it's a weaker argument, but they have a right to make it. So I want to read it as a whole, and reading it as a whole, I think that those provisions apply in these other places wherever there is a speaker. And I believe that when we refer to a speaker, it is whoever is performing the function of the speaker.
Right. In fact, the standing order says Mr. Speaker or Speaker includes whoever is presiding. So yes, let's get clarity from you. What happened on Friday night? Does it pass muster? Does it pass constitutional muster for you, or there is something wrong with it? As far as Sam George has narrated to us, the vote was in progress. And if you take the Hansard of that day, it is reported in the record of Parliament that there were 274 members present. Adjoa Safo Fodom Kwabeya was absent with permission.
Absent with permission is equal to absent. So we should be clear about that. Okay, I do think that the original votes, I call it the backbeam vote, which some other people said was invalid and therefore, or unconstitutional and therefore invalid. If it were so, a rescission would not be the cure for it. A rescission is used to remove a valid parliamentary decision. So honestly, I think there are sound arguments to uphold the original vote. However, the rescission itself also looks to me as sound. Now, there will be arguments on each side to detract from them. But I do want to make this point that if you look at the sequencing on the issues concerning quorum, okay, I don't believe the speaker has a vote and should be counted, except he comes into the chamber not as a speaker, but as a member of parliament and registers himself as such, and for some reason has to ascend to the position of a speaker. To that extent, I would say his presence should be recorded, and then when he ascends to be speaker, he loses his vote, but his presence is there. And it rhymes with what Sam Job just said. If somebody is in and is part of the quorum, and for some reason has to leave for some reason, you can't take the quorum again. So for me, sequencing in this matter is important, to the extent, therefore, that the count was taken at the time when Joe Wise was speaker. He could not have been counted, in my view.
Okay.